Something about this person's energy is completely shifting. And when I tell you it's like completely shifted and focused on you, like it's locked in energy. And it's not because of necessary. It's like, why is it? How do I explain this? It's literally because of who you are. Like everything about you, this person is so drawn to you that they cannot help themselves. Like they've been trying, okay? They've been trying. They've been putting up their best walls. They've been putting up their best fights, sending out their best warriors. Like they have been trying to let go, to detach, to turn away from whatever this is, because even they can't fully understand it yet. This is somebody who's like, you know what? Like I'm seeing this person about to say, just like, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just going for it, because you want to know what it is? Because your eyes are on you. And by you, I mean your heart. Your eyes are on you. Your eyes are on what you deserve. This person's eyes, locked in. You have a King of Pentacles. This is somebody who is either high status now or are very soon going to be. This is somebody who very much stands out in their community. They, even though are surrounded by other people, there's something about this person's mentality that keeps them separated in some way. And this is someone who, Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck, this is someone who, Queen of Swords and the Hierophant, whoa. This is someone who was not expecting to meet you when they met you. They also were not expecting to find out who it is you are. You are waking this person up from whatever slumber they were in, from whatever sleep they were in. Listen, you need to take it easy on this person sometimes, because you are opening this person's eyes to life, to love, to the world around you in a way that they have never experienced with someone before. I don't think you realize how powerful you are. I don't think that you realize the chokehold that your presence has this person in when you are near them. Even just talking to them, messaging them, whatever your form of communication is. I don't think you realize how strong your presence grounds them, how strong, like how much they gravitate towards you at this time. The Ten of Swords, I feel like these are, listen, you both have really similar insecurities is what I'm being told. You both have so many reasons to not give into this connection. I'm not going to lie to you. Like I see so much heartbreak in both of your pasts. Like that's a lot. Like I'm gonna give you that. That's a lot. This person has also, like I feel like this person is someone who, if you would have met them years and years ago, probably would have been the person who was causing this heartbreak in a way. And so when it comes to loving you, when it comes to showing up in this connection with you, you're both going to trigger each other for those reasons. And of course, we have this crazy divine union coming out. The sharing of one flame, the sharing of past lives. There's a lot to uncover within this connection. And so both of you are going to require time to integrate everything that you're uncovering at this time, because that's the word that comes to mind is unbelievable. Like it's actually slightly unbelievable that the two of you are even coming together in it. Like, holy hell, that's actually crazy. I'm getting it's like hard to breathe. The magnitude, like how deep this connection actually goes. The fact that you both are actually meeting each other when you are in the way that you are, and you're capable of having a conversation, let alone exploring a love connection together, is pretty insane. That's a lot that both of you have been through, and in some ways together, like maybe not physically together, but spiritually, you both have been side by side, just experiencing like after hit after hit after hit throughout your lifetimes. But both of you still chose to maintain this sense of innocence, this sense of purity, this wild and radical sense of stability and abundance. I'm getting full body chills because we have the Two of Cups and the King of Cups. Oh, there's so much for the two of you to discover together. There's so much to unpack within this connection too. You really need to allow yourself that time, that space in between, especially if you feel yourself getting triggered here. because it's happening to both of you. It's not just you, it's also this person. So if you feel their energy pull away, chances are it has nothing to do with you. You are simply the catalyst for this person's healing, and vice versa. Take the time, pull away if you need to. Communicate in whatever way you need to, but ultimately, what you need to understand about this connection is that there's a lot of healing, like very deep healing taking place. You're getting down to like the nitty-gritty fine layers of, you know, the first traumatic experiences that you ever had in this lifetime. That's where you're at right now, both of you. So give yourself the grace and have confidence, because this connection is more real than any love connection you've ever experienced in your lifetime. And this, out of every single one, is far more worthy, is the most worthy of fighting for, and not fighting for. Okay, you have somebody in your life who is so committed to loving you. And the channeled song is the song with the lyrics, I'm gonna love you until I'm gonna lose you. I'm gonna hold you till we're saying goodbye. I don't know what song it is, but there's so much intensity coming through with those lyrics, and there's so much, it's just like warmth. Like I see my entire body filling with warmth from this person. And there's something very protective about this person as well. Like they might just be protective in general to anyone who is in their life, but when it comes to you, I don't know, I just feel like what's coming to mind is I would go the distance, and the Hercules movie and the Hercules song. So there's somebody who, to me, that's a symbol of somebody putting in work. There's someone who wants to put in the work to come forward to you. So you might know who this person is already, or you might have an idea of this person. We're going to pull some cards just to provide hopefully a little bit of clarity. Thank you, God. Thank you, angels. What can you tell us about this person and this connection? For some reason, the question that came to mind is if it's meant to be. So we have the Three of Wands and the Six of Cups. Interesting. I feel like you're used to walking away, or you're either used to being left behind, or you're used to walking away. Maybe a combination of both. But we do have the Six of Cups here. This feels like stable. This feels like an emotionally stable offer. And the Three of Wands, this to me is like hesitation. There's some sort of hesitation, but it feels like it's coming from you. So it almost feels like you're going to be receiving this emotionally stable offer. Or you want to know what it is? This person's feelings for you are stable. This person's feelings for you are stable, even though you might feel unstable at times. Like physically, things might look a little disconnected right now. Thank you, God. What else can you tell us about this? Six of Cups, there's so much room for growth here. There's so much room for growth in this connection. And also, I'm kind of getting the energy of like this is somebody who wants to grow with you. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune. Is this forward movement for this connection? I really feel like this love connection that you are in is going to be moving forward, taking the next steps, and you're going to be doing it together. It's a really positive omen, the Wheel of Fortune. Things picking up quicker as well. Noticing more love, more action from this person is also what's coming through here. So,
precious soul, if these words reached the deepest part of your heart, then this message was meant for you. Do not scroll away the same person you were before hearing this. Heaven wanted your spirit to be reminded tonight that you are not abandoned, forgotten, or unseen. Right now, place your hand over your heart and say these words out loud. I am chosen by God. I am deeply loved. I am not forgotten. What is meant for me will find me. My story is not over. My miracle is still unfolding. Say it again until the tears stop fighting your healing. Say it again until the fear loses its voice. Say it again until your soul finally remembers who you are. Because there have been nights when you silently cried, asking God if He still heard your prayers. There were moments you smiled in front of others while your heart was breaking in secret. But even in those lonely moments, heaven never stopped watching over you. God has been carrying you through battles nobody else could see. This is your reminder that delays are not denial. Heartbreak is not the end of your story. The love you have been praying for, the peace your soul has been longing for, and the breakthrough you thought would never come, God is still working behind the scenes. And if this message touched your spirit, please share it with someone else. Somewhere tonight, someone is losing hope. Someone feels unloved, rejected, and exhausted from carrying pain alone. Your share may be the very sign that keeps them holding on one more day. If you feel led to support this mission of spreading prophetic words, healing messages, and reminders of God's love, you can give through a super thanks. Whether it's $5, $10, $20, or whatever God places on your heart, may heaven bless you abundantly for your kindness and generosity. Your support helps these messages reach broken hearts across the world, people searching for comfort, guidance, hope, and reassurance that God has not forgotten them. Together, we are building more than a community. We are building a family of faith, healing, love, and purpose, one soul at a time. There's a certain kind of silence that exists right before something changes. Not the comfortable kind of silence. Not the peaceful kind you find on quiet mornings or in the middle of a familiar place. This is the other kind. The held breath kind. The kind that settles over everything right before the world shifts if in a direction you weren't fully prepared for. Even if somewhere deep down, some part of you always knew it was coming. That silence is where you are right now. And the strange thing about it is that it doesn't feel entirely new. You've been here before, standing at the edge of something that felt too big, too real, too much to hold in both hands without dropping it. You've stood here and stepped back. You've stood here and talked yourself out of it. You've stood here and watched the moment pass while you convinced yourself that was the safer choice. And maybe it was. And maybe it was back then. Maybe you weren't ready. Maybe the person standing across from you wasn't ready either. But something is different now. There is a person in your life, or arriving at the edges of it, who has been through their own version of this, their own standing at the edge, their own stepping back. And for a while, that's exactly what they were doing when it came to you. Pulling away, building distance, constructing What they hoped would be a wall solid enough to hold against whatever this feeling was that kept surfacing every time you entered their awareness. They tried. That part is important to acknowledge because it tells you something real about the weight of what they feel. People don't try to resist things that don't matter to them. People don't construct emotional defenses against feelings that are mild or manageable. You build walls against the things that threaten to change you, against the things that are powerful enough to reach past every version of yourself you've carefully arranged for the world to see. And what you've done to this person, not intentionally, not through manipulation or strategy, simply by being who you are, fully, honestly, without apology. You have gotten through every barrier they had. And now they're standing on the other side of their own resistance, slightly breathless, realizing that the fight is over. But here's what I want you to sit with for a moment. You don't fully see yourself the way this person sees you. That's not a small thing. That's actually one of the most significant truths in this entire story. Because so much of your hesitation, so much of the uncertainty you carry into this comes from not understanding the kind of presence you are. You've been focused, understandably, on protecting yourself, on watching for the signs you may have missed before, on making sure that this time you don't hand your whole heart to someone who will leave fingerprints on it and then disappear. And that vigilance has cost you something quietly. It has cost you the ability to look up from your own careful watching and notice what is happening on the other side of the room. Because on the other side of the room, there is someone who cannot look away from you. Not because of what you offer or what you look like or what you represent, but because of something that lives underneath all of that, something in the way you exist in the world that grounds them in a way nothing else has managed to. When you speak to them, something in them settles. When you're near them, the noise in their head gets quieter. When your name appears on their phone, their whole body responds before their mind has a chance to catch up. That's not infatuation. That's not novelty. That is something older and steadier than either of those things, and it has been building in them for longer than they've been willing to admit. They are someone who carries their own kind of weight. There's a presence to them, a solidity, a sense of someone who has built something real and stands firmly within it. They are the kind of person who commands quiet respect without demanding it, who walks into a room and doesn't need to announce themselves, because something about the way they carry themselves does it for them. They think independently. They move deliberately. And precisely because of all of that, because of the strength and the self-sufficiency and the carefully maintained composure, the way you make them feel has completely disoriented them. Because they are not used to being the one who is undone. They are used to being steady. They are used to being the one who remains unmoved while others orbit around them. And then you arrived, or you deepened, or you simply kept being yourself in their presence, and something in them cracked open, not violently, not dramatically, just quietly, in the way that the most significant things always happen. A slow understanding that they were not, in fact, as untouchable as they believed. That is the moment everything changed for them. They just haven't found the words for it yet. Now, here is where the story gets harder and more honest. Both of you are carrying wounds. Not the surface kind that heal in a season, the old kind. The foundational kind that reached you early in life, before you had the language to name what was happening, before you had the emotional tools to process it. The kind that taught you specific, deeply embedded lessons about what love does. And more specifically, what love eventually does to you. You learned to brace for the ending. You learned to watch for the moment when things shift from warmth to withdrawal. You learned to read the air in a room and know before anything is said that something is about to go wrong. And those lessons didn't come from nowhere. They came from real experiences with real people who left real marks. This person carries the same kind of lessons, different stories, same scars. And here is the insight that changes everything when you finally let it land. The very things that make this connection so powerful are the same things that will make it difficult. Because when two people who have both been broken open by life come together, they don't just bring their love, they bring their history, they bring their flinching. They bring the old recordings that play in the back of their mind when things get too good. The ones that say, this won't last. The ones that say, you don't deserve this. The ones that say, leave before you get left. You will trigger each other. That is not a warning. That is simply the truth of what deep connection asks of people like you, people who feel everything and have learned through survival to guard against that very feeling. But something else is also true. Both of you, despite everything, kept something intact, something that life had every right to take from you and didn't. A kind of openness, a willingness to still believe, even after all of it, that love can be different, that it can be steadier, more honest, more worthy of the risk than anything you've encountered before. You held on to that. quietly, privately, even when you told yourself you'd given up on it. That is not a small thing. That is an extraordinary thing. And the universe, or fate, or whatever word you use for the force that moves people toward each other when the timing finally aligns, it noticed. It has been moving the two of you toward this moment across a distance that isn't just geographical. Across years of parallel pain, parallel growth, parallel survival. As if you were walking separate roads through the same storm, and now the roads have finally merged. The warmth coming from this person is real, not the warmth that burns out quickly. Not the warmth of someone performing love because they're afraid of being alone. This is the quieter kind. The kind that shows up in consistency rather than grand gestures. The kind that says, I'm not going anywhere, not with words, but with actions, with presence, with the simple and profound act of choosing you again and again, even when it would be easier not to. There is something protective in them when it comes to you specifically. Something that goes beyond their general nature. It is as though something in them recognizes at a level beneath conscious thought that you are someone to be cherished rather than handled, someone to be shown up for. And they are preparing in their own way to do exactly that. And you, the one who has been quietly wondering if any of this is real, you are allowed to believe it, not naively. You've earned the right to your discernment, and you should keep it. But you are allowed to let this be what it appears to be. You are allowed to stop waiting for the part where it falls apart. You are allowed to receive what is being offered here without immediately looking for the catch, because there is movement happening. Real, forward, intentional movement. Not the frantic kind that comes from desperation, but the deliberate kind that comes from someone who has made a decision from a place of clarity. This person has looked at everything. Their fears, their history, their very good reasons to stay safe. And chosen to move toward you anyway. That is not something people do casually. That is not something people do for connections that don't matter. So here is where the emotional journey of this story arrives. Not at a conclusion, but at a beginning. A beginning that is asking something of you. It's asking you to let the past be the past without carrying it into every interaction you have with this person. It's asking you to notice when you're pulling back out of old habit rather than genuine instinct. It's asking you to trust, even partially, even imperfectly, that what is forming between the two of you is exactly what it feels like. The healing that this connection carries is not comfortable. It will reach into places you haven't visited in years. It will ask you to feel things you've been carefully managing around. But that healing is also the point, because on the other side of it is something neither of you has experienced before. A love that doesn't ask you to shrink. A love that doesn't require you to manage or minimize or brace yourself. A love that actually sees you. The wheel has turned, not away from you, toward you. And the person on the other side of it is no longer trying to stop it from spinning. They are finally, fully, completely in. The only question that remains is whether you are ready to be too. And something tells me somewhere beneath all the protecting and the questioning and the careful watching, you already are. You've been ready for a while now. You just needed to know it was safe enough to say so.